گفتم شرایط زندگی ما عوض شده، باید خیلی مراقب باشیم.
اینو بهم دادن برای حفاظت شخصی.
برای چی؟
حفاظت از خودمون.
Hey, howdy, hey, awesome people of the internet, Wolfman Forstone Dash here, and today I'm going to talk about a film that I probably would not usually see, but Clank Zoka invited me out to go see it, so I went to see it with him. The Seed of a Sacred Fig, or The Seed of the Sacred Fig. You get what I mean. I'm not going to pretend I know what the language is. It is definitely a language from probably some part of the world. But anyway, from what I understand, the director had trouble making it because he himself was experiencing basically what the people in the film are experiencing, basically trying to escape from things happening. But anyway, so we've got this man who is a judge. And he's given all the things. He's given a gun and everything. He has a wife and 2 daughters, and he spends much of his time doing his very secret job that he's not meant to be telling others about. His daughters and the mother just carry on as they are, unaware, very much aware of the crisis that's happening at the time, where basically lots of basically things are happening. I don't want to delve into it too much, out of respect for the people that might have been experiencing what's been happening in real life. Eventually, it gets to the point where the guy is very careless and forgets where he put his gun, and then things start happening where he and the wife are pointing fingers and just saying, "Oh, I don't know why my family would do this." Excuse me. And then things start to transpire and so forth, and it eventually gets to a point where they're then escaping their area and trying to get out, and then the father is holding everybody accountable and just trying to do stuff. And yeah, it's a film that does drag on quite a lot, and it's one of those films that I'm not going to see again on the basis that it's difficult to understand what's actually going on, not helped by the fact that it's a foreign film, which I totally get. Foreign films are good and all that, but when you don't know what's going on and everything, and it's just trying to cram in as much as possible inside and just takes its time with it, just oh, excuse me. So I got a lot of phlegm in my mouth. Yeah, it's just difficult to follow and so forth. So I'm not gonna pretend that I know exactly how everything happens and everything. It's just a film that you might struggle to follow, but I get why it exists. It's just trying to portray an important event that happened in that part of the world, and I can definitely say, having watched the film, these 2 parents, they're not going to win the Best Parents of the Year award, because the amount of pointing fingers and calling their children brats and so forth, I mean, no parent should do that. I mean, that's just horrible and cruel. But I get that, but they do win the award on the basis that they do very well to try and protect their daughters. So on one hand, yes, good that you're protecting your children. On the other hand, not great that you are sort of blaming them, pointing fingers and so forth, when really you shouldn't really be doing that. You should really trust your children and so forth. So yeah. Oh, and these daughters do portray them. They are quite rebellious, as you know, as most children of the ages that they are do. And when we do find out that one of them does indeed, when we do find out who actually does have the gun, it comes at such a moment that you do have to wonder why leave it till that point in time before. So yeah. I will admit it is a bit of a boring film to me. I did try ever so hard to try and stay awake to watch all of it, and in the end I managed to stay awake just fine. But Clank Soku was sitting next to me. He was, oh goodness, he fell asleep and missed a whole huge amount of it. Probably the most exciting thing that actually happens in the film is this kind of Mexican standoff moment in which the judge who has the gun, who happens to have another gun now, who's been loaned a gun. He holds this this person at gunpoint who's claiming that he or she is able to basically, because they escaping, because the address and his details are up on the internet and everything. Anyway, this couple he comes across, they're filming him, and then one of the daughters reveals that there's hardly any signal, so they do tie them up and everything, and yeah. I will admit, when they do actually leave their home, it actually does get a bit more interesting, because then they're out of their comfort zone, and eventually the man starting to show his true colours, and he doesn't trust anybody anymore. He basically does that thing that you shouldn't really do to your phone, where you lock them up and hold them at gunpoint and everything, and just try and get a confession out of them. I get that he's trying to do his job as a judge, but at the same as a judge / investigator, but at the same time, it's like, they're your family. They're the people you trust. You married this person because you trust this person, and you have these daughters because, love is love. It's a frustrating film, and one that does drag on a lot, and it's probably boring for some people, but I do kind of understand why it exists, because some people just want to tell the stories tell these really heartbreaking stories that happen during major events that are obviously also very heartbreaking. So yeah, but as a film, I get why the guy made it, but I can kind of get that he probably would have wanted to make it better had he not spent too long trying to escape the country he was making the film in. So I will accept that maybe the making of this film could have been a whole lot better, but obviously it wasn't. So yeah. So overall, I'm going to give The Seed of the Sacred Fig, if that is what it's called, a 6 out of 10. It's not a bad film. It's certainly not a terrible film, but it is a film that you really need to pay attention to, and if you fall asleep during it, then you're kind of lost with it. So yeah, it probably doesn't need to be as long as it needed to, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's what I think about The Seed of the Sacred Fig. If you have your own thoughts about it, or you've seen it, do leave your thoughts in the comments below. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, and like, share, comment, subscribe, and the rest of it. I do gameplay videos where it's straight up gameplay, nothing else, at memes and so forth, out of a good measure. I also do let's play videos where camera on, mic on, and I play a game and add commentary and jokes and stuff. I do vlogs like this when I'm either reviewing a film or just talking about something in pop culture or something that interests me, or just showing off things that I've bought, and random shorts as well. So that's what I do. See you in the next one. Peace to you all. And if you're finding it hard to trust the people that you've dedicated your life to protecting, then maybe it's time to move on. Maybe just move on. And yeah, obviously I know it was difficult for these people to move on because it was in a difficult time. But yeah, and also, even do trust your children and trust your partners. Don't point fingers and so forth when something really bad has happened. Yes, obviously take it seriously, but don't say things like, don't call them brats, don't point fingers, just be nice, and treat your people with respect and so forth, because they may end up being the ones that will have to save you in the end, so in difficult situations. So yeah, not saying that I know how parenting works, because I'm not a parent myself. So yeah, I'm just saying what I want to say, and that. So yeah, all right, doodles.